Good morning, afternoon, and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela. I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and welcome back to August number one's Whips, Bits, and Chat. It's been a long time coming, so grab yourself a brew or a nice cool drink, depending on what your weather's like. Grab your project, and let's get ready to see what I've been up to the last couple of weeks. Now, fingers crossed, this will be a bit jam packed because this is episode 190. So keep your eyes peeled, you never know what you're going to see. So, we're going to start off today with a video roundup. Some of them will be in the I button up there if I think you're interested. If not, they will be in the description box down below, a quick link to them so you can just click on them and jump over if you've missed any of them. Right, so our first video up was the Granny Hexagon blanket dress. Now that is this one here. It's a tutorial. It was separated into 4 parts. I'll put video 1 in the I button for you. Now the video that we're playing catch up on is number 3 and number 4. So that shows you how to put it together, I think, and how to do the edges, the sleeves, the neck and the base. Now there is a pattern available for this one over on Ravelry where you've got the written pattern in words, you've got the charts for the hexagon, and also an extended chart if you choose to use a different yarn, because of course most of us, especially us in the UK, can't get hold of that yarn at a reasonable price, so we like to swap it out. So it gives you the information there on other yarns that you could use and how to make the hexagon the same size. Okay, so that was those ones. We also had the very first fun day, a die day for this year, where I showed, I think it was 2 colourways out of about 8 that I've made up. So I've got some more videos to put together there. Now, I had to use my husband's spare camera to do the overhead filming, as I actually dumped mine in a bucket. Shh, don't tell him. And because of that, I hadn't set up the volume, so it didn't record any of my vocals. So that one's quite a nice video because you've got me talking at the beginning, middle and end and that sort of scenario, but you just have some nice music to listen along to as you watch me dye up the yarn, rinse the yarn and all that malarkey. Okay, so that is a fun day, a dye day video number 1, and that will of course be in the I button. Then I sneaked in a giveaway, which was the Blue Ellie giveaway, and that the winners for that have been picked from both my channel and Blue's. Now, one of my crazies contacted me pretty quick. She got her pattern, and our Blue's winner has also received hers, but the other winner didn't contact me within the time frame. So if you don't want to know if you've won and lost, don't watch the video. Okay, I know it sounds horrible, but I can't hold prizes over. I hold them for 7 days, so you get 7 days to claim. Okay, I'm not going to hold it any further than that because otherwise I don't remember who's won what and I get in a right old muddle. Okay, now that they were the main videos, and then we had the Hobie orders August 2024. Now that one came out on Friday. I was waiting for this package, these packages to arrive. I've only just finished recording that video and putting it up because this is, of course, is Friday. It's my video day. So there it is. There's the package. I am not showing you on this video what's in there. Just know there's squishy stuff and rattly stuff and free stuff. You heard right, free. So again, that will be in the I button if you want to jump over and have a look. Right, what else is there? What else is there? That is it for the video roundup. Okay, so now it's time for me to whinge and moan. Whinge and moan. The wrist is still playing up. We're on month 3. So because of that, I have hidden my crochet hooks. And I won't remember where they are for about another 2 to 3 weeks because my memory's like gone, got a 3-month delay. No, I've saved my favourite, which is normally a 4mm, but I've actually gone up to a 4.5mm just so that I can do something and test out to see how it's working. Now, at the beginning, when this first kicked off, I did some knitting, or should I say I took up knitting, and I made 2 of this top. Okay, my pattern, all mine. Didn't know what I was doing in any way, shape or form, but I made 2 of them. The second one's a lot nicer and a lot better. Right? No, there isn't a written pattern yet, but if you know what your basic math is, give me a heads up and I can always hand you over the pattern section that I have got done, which is the charting for the colour work. Alright, so I'd made those 2, and then I had a lot of people get a little bit upset with me because this is technically a crochet channel and I was showing knitting. But please understand, I'm only knitting because I need to use up my yarn still. I'm still trying to get through it, through the stash of yarn that I've got so that I can get new squishy yarn because I got no room. And I was sitting rocking in a corner, not doing any type of fibre art, which is why I tortured myself with knitting. Now, I've made the 2 tops. I then went to a charity shop and bought a pattern, like a little pattern book, so I could see how they were written up and try and understand how to do it. Now, I'll put some pictures up. These are gorgeous pictures of work that I did, but the item never got completed. It actually got ripped back so many times that I didn't think the yarn would last another ripping. So, or another frogging. So I ended up doing a more simpler pattern. Okay, or at least I thought it was simple. All the parts are now finished, including sleeves, because like I learned how to do sleeves. And I sewed the front section together, and well, give me a minute, I'll just go and get it. Right, so I just went downstairs, I just come back up again. Now the pattern that I was doing was going to be this one, but with sleeves, because I was doing this one, but I gave up. That's the one I ended up having to keep ripping back because I kept losing track. And even with save lines, it didn't save it. So, as I said, I was making this one, but with sleeves. So here it is. Looks quite nice, doesn't it? I went up a size because I like stuff to be a bit lighter, so I've got more room for my stomach to grow every time I eat something. So I set to work. Let's grab the first panel. I made the first panel. Oh, these are attached, but honestly it's a panel. Alright. So I made the first panel and did all the instructions that I needed for the armhole. Okay, I'm quite liking the way it stripes up. It looks quite cool. Then once I did that, I tackled this top section. Now this top section is actually separate. So that took me 4 days. 4 days to knit that. That was it. That's all I had to do. But the amount of times it got taken back was unbelievable. I ended up caking up another couple of the yarns so that I could get them to match, so that this bit and the other bit both looked the same. So it didn't matter which way round it was. But this was starting to hurt my hand, where I was having to move the yarn backwards and forwards because I'm a thrower. For anybody that doesn't know anything, I knit English style, which means you get the yarn and you chuck it around the around the needle, whereas continentals pick it like you would if you were crocheting, right? So I'm a thrower, and it started to hurt my hands. But then I had done quite a bit because I'd already done the front and the back panel before I made this one. So I made this, and then I made the other one, or at least I made this one and then went, put it on timeout. I don't like it. I really, really don't like it. So at that point, I'm like, right, well, I've got so many balls of this yarn, and I now know that I only need one more ball for this section here, and I've got loads left. So I'm going to attempt sleeves because I've never done sleeves before. So, oh, let's put it around the right way. I knitted a sleeve, and it does work. Just hold on, I don't even know which. It's that way, isn't it? So there you go. That's what it's going to look like. Let's put it on the other hand because the bright light's coming through. There we go. So that's what it's going to look like. Right, I'm going to leave this on so we can all have a laugh and a giggle. Because next, I sewed this bit to the front bit. That was a pain in the posterior. Did you like my word in there? Still no swear words. There was plenty downstairs. The air was turning blue. But I sewed it. And I don't think I've done too bad a job, if I can work out which way's front and which way's back. There we go. I don't think I've done too bad of a job sewing it on. God, it looks like a right eyesore on camera. Yeah, I showed you the front. Okay, there's a bit of a iffy bit on there, but that's because I've got loose threads in there that I need to fix. Right, so I laid this down and I thought, right, I'll do the back in a second. I just want to have a look at it so that I can work out how to sew the arm on. Because I thought, well, I'll do the front and I'll do the back, and then I'll join them at the shoulder, which is going to strangle me. Yeah, you can see the point already, right? It's going to strangle me. So I'm thinking I might be sewing it so it's off shoulder. I think I've just made that decision. Literally just, because that was strangling me. Right? So I've got this and I've brought it down, and I'm like, the armhole should be sitting about here. No, try again. The armhole is in line with my belly button. Yeah, you heard right. Armhole, belly button. Hello, nice to meet you. What on earth have I done wrong? Yeah, that is clearly too big of an armhole. So even if I did attach this, give me a minute. It's going to take me half an hour. Let's get it straightish. Right. So even if I did attach this so that it would have to sit off of the shoulder, right? So it would sit off the shoulder, but even then, you can go halfway round to get, look. Yeah, I'm holding it in line on the back and it comes over here. Okay, so this is clearly mucked up. So I think my next trick is to get rid of this annoying panel at the top and then fudge a new neckline. And then add the sleeves, because if I don't take that section into account, you see, if I don't take that, unless I leave it flipped over, it could be loose. I might do that. I might just flip it over. I'm going to have to reread the pattern to see if it tells me to just flip it over. If I do that, then the armhole sits in the right spot. Have you ever had a pattern where the collar flips? That's going to probably drive me a little bit insane. But it could be doable, couldn't it? But it just seems like a waste of time knitting an extra, 6 to 8 inches just to have the flap fold on it. But yeah, back to reading the pattern and hope for the best. Oh, I was so irate with myself when I realised this was how bad it was. But all the parts are done. So bonus on that. Well, because of the hand as well, I've picked up my crochet hook yesterday. And I've got this pattern which I've left downstairs because I'm not going to run down and get it. It's just a swatch, a decent length swatch. I think it's about 100 stitches. And I decided I was going to do that. Just set up 100 stitches, do a row of doubles and a row of singles, and see how far I could get. I'm up to 68 stitches before my wrist starts to click. And I've gone from being a knife holder, a pencil, where I'd normally hold it like I'm writing a pencil. Hold on, let me find a hook. Right, so I'd normally hold it sort of like that. Okay, I am now holding it like that. And all of the movement is being done with my left hand. And I'm still only up to 68 stitches. It's so annoying. So annoying, because I've got another bag project, like monkey and like the monkey and the pig. I've got another one of those, and all it's waiting on is to have the head sewn together, which I suppose I could do, but once I do that, I'll definitely want to finish the flap of the bag. And that's got 5 rows left to do, plus the edging. And that's the bit that normally hurts my wrist when I'm doing the bags. That would be the last bit because it's got the most movement in it. And I'm sitting there going, if I finish it, I'm going to be out of action for a month. If I leave it, it's going to bug me for a month. What would you do? Would you just finish it up and grin and bear it? I am tempted. What do you think? Am I daft enough to do it? Well, yeah. But would you? I just don't know. Okay, so the weather here in the UK has been gorgeous. Well, it was not last week, the week before. We were hitting temperatures of 30 plus, and it was lovely. My back didn't ache, my shoulder didn't ache, just the flipping wrist. Right? So I went to a local town near me called Tewkesbury. Now, Tewkesbury is a beautiful medieval town. Beautiful medieval, really old, really, really old buildings. We're talking wooden buildings where it's a wood frame, and then the plaster is not plaster, it's animal poop and straw. That's how they built it back then. But these buildings are absolutely beautiful, and it's down by the join for the River Severn and the River Avon. So there's a really lovely little walk that you could do up by the river. Well, they've got a high street, and on this high street there is a Poundland. It's Poundland, I'm sure of it. It's pound something anyway. And their prices are no longer a pound. I went in to have a nose and see what they had yarn-wise. It was very disappointing, very disappointing. I've got more yarn in probably my Australia cube up here. This hasn't got a lot in it at all. But I've probably got more yarn in there than what they did for choice. And so I came out. And don't get me wrong, the shop's brilliant. They've got some really lovely clothing in there now and some other bits and pieces. It's just I went in to nose the yarn. So I've come out of there, and the high street's got something like 6 different I think it's 6 or 7 different charity shops. There's one for it's pointless naming them, but basically we've got they've got cancer covered, animal covered, military covered, wildlife covered, and a few others. Okay, so there's quite a lot of choice. Now I've got my favourites. I will be honest, I have my favourites because one of them I know has a massive craft section. Everybody goes in there to raid this craft section. It is massive. I've bought a couple of bits from there, like my first pair of circular needles, and I think there was something else, but I can't remember what it was. And then from another one, there is what have we got? Three bookshops that are second-hand books, which is where I like to get quite a lot of my books from, like my crochet books and my knitting books. One in particular is a brilliant charity shop where they choose a different charity every 6 months to support, so any funds that are made go to those charities. So that was my first port of call. Now I went in and decided, okay, I can't crochet. I've got enough crochet books and I make my own patterns now. So let's look at the knitting ones. Okay, now I've got to remember which way around it was and where it was, who got me what. And I can't look at that handwriting either, that's not going to help. Okay, so these aren't even all of them. Well, anyway, I went in there, I picked up 3 to 4 3 books in there, and then I went to the other one with the whole stash, went through all of their pattern books, and came out, she says with a glint, came out with a few. Okay, so I'm going to quickly show you just the front covers now, and if you request it, actually I'll probably do it anyway, but if you request it, I will do a book review on them. Now, this was one from from the charity shop that donates, okay, and I'm so chuffed I found this. Some of these patterns are so what's the phrase, timeless. They are timeless patterns and it's such a, the thing is, I like it so much I actually want to find the rest of the set. Okay, and this is really strange for me because I'm not an avid fashion person. Okay, so I picked up Vogue. You can hear it in the voice. Vogue? What's going on? I must admit, a few weeks prior I did watch Devil Wears Prada, but Vogue? And this one, okay, I'm not keen on the front cover image, but the very first pattern in here is from 1952. And I'm sorry, that way. As far as I'm concerned, that is timeless. And when I ordered my yarn from Hobie, that was what I was actually thinking about until I remembered I don't have the shoulders for that type of top. But it has got some absolutely beautiful patterns in there. Oh, I can't really show you much like this, can I? And there's even a bloke's pattern. Let me see, where's the chappie's pattern gone? There. Look, chappie pattern. I'm still shocked because I find it really hard finding patterns for men and then finding a pattern that my husband might actually wear. But there was also this one as well. Shame I can't bribe my nephew to have that one rather than the diamond one that I'm working up to. The next one is Better Homes and Gardens, Fabulous Knits. And this one was published in, I don't even know, where is it? Your very helpful back page. I think it's, I'm guessing around 2007. But there was a couple of pictures in here. This one was the main one. Look at that cabling. I've got a jumper that I bought from a shop that looks just like this white one. But I've outgrown it, gang. I've become about 4 sizes too big, and really it can't take much more stretch. So I'm actually tempted to try that one, which is going to drive me completely insane because it's cabling. I've never done cabling. Never, ever, ever. But I like that one. And then also like this one. I think that's beautiful, but looking at the length of it and the fact that I'm 5'8", I'm going to need to buy a yarn shop to cover the amount of yarn I'm going to need. But you never know, that might end up being one that I will have a go at, because hey, why not? If the hand's still not, if the wrist still isn't playing, I might as well give it a go. Now it's also got a felted bag pattern. I've never tried felted. I don't think I probably will. I don't think I will. And then we have a bag. And then the last set of patterns I'll show you is a hat, glove and scarf set. So that was Fabulous Knits. Then I found this next one, and I think this is the one. Yeah. No, yeah, no. Oh, I don't know. Magazine's doing my head in. Just put all the pictures at the front of what I could make, and then I'll search for the patterns later. Thank you. Oh, it does actually do that. Okay, I'll take my words back. Right, now this is a Let's Knit, and it's from February 2016. I like the green top on this first page. That's pretty much it. So there we go. And then on the next page, was there anything I liked? Yes, it's the blue and white scarf. I quite like that one. But as I said, I will show you these more in depth. Now, pattern I did see, and that technically I have ordered the yarn for, is this one. I didn't order the patents though. I ordered a different cotton. Now, I like the look of this, but I'm thinking, how cute would that be extended into a dress? Knitters out there. Knitters, shout, help me, I'm going insane. Is it doable? Do you think it would be doable? Because, of course, with crochet, I can extend the amount of stitches as I go. But I think, I don't know, I'd have to read it and try and work this one out. It may start at the bottom and work up. If it does, that's awkward and annoying. If it works from the top down, I can always keep going and just keep going and just keep going. Now, I know I could technically just keep going in the middle before I add either the top or the bottom, depending on which way it is. But yeah, I don't know. It still looks like a really cool science experiment to me, with a lot of let's see if you can work this one out. Now the last one, this was originally priced at $7.99, and what year was it? There, anything on the binder? Not that I can see. I'll have to have a closer look at a later point. I've got my reading glass on and I still can't read the print on these things. But anyway, it was the Martin Storey design collection with 30 patterns. This has also got some men's patterns in it. And my husband is evil, because I showed him and I think it's this one. Where is the sticky note? I don't know, I can't find it now. Alright, so here it is. This is the one that my husband likes. He's sadistic. All I can say, sadistic. That is cables and cables on cables on cables, with a hood that's cables on cables on cables. And my husband isn't a skinny beanpole, so he's my big oomph of a man. So yeah, I might accidentally lose this book. Right. But the patterns in here are really quite sweet. There are some nice ones. There's a really cute roll neck, but again, I think that's cables upon cables. That's the purple one on this first page. I really like the look of that one. I've got a thing for roll necks because they help keep my neck warm so my shoulder doesn't spasm. And then we have my head poking round. There we go. The second page with the other patterns in, or on I should say. And then the third page with some more cute patterns. And then it goes into chatting about Martin and all of the patterns and things. Now I thought that one was quite nice as well. I made sure that when I went and had a look through these that I only took the ones that I was tempted to make. Might have been slightly crazy, but the ones that I'm tempted to make. Now, whether it ever happens or not, I just don't know. I really don't. But it's a case of trying, and the trial and error, isn't it? It's give it a go. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Now, also, this isn't charity shop find though. This was Amazon find. Circular knitting needle set. Comes with most of the sizes I'm going to need. And it also has some little ends and 4 different cable lengths because it is the interchangeables. £8. If I can find the link, I will put it in the description box down below for anybody that wants to have a look. To be honest, I think it's probably a Wish or Joom reseller, but that's fine with me because I'm not going down the Joom route. I'm not going to be giving my personal bank details out to that company or others like it. I've removed that from any sites that I've used previously. Husband's in IT security. I now know more than I should. What else is there to chat about? Right, so a little story from last week. Me and husband went on date night. We don't do them that often, but there was a lady that was on our local selling page saying that she had some tickets for the local cinema that she couldn't get refunds for. So did anybody want them? And my husband jumped at them and said, yes, please. So we had to meet her there, and when we've turned up to collect the tickets, there's her partner and their daughter. And the daughter's only, what was she? She's only like 13, so she's only little. And all of a sudden, out of her bag comes a crochet hook and yarn, and she's there crocheting while the adults are talking. And I've looked down at her, grin this big grin. I think she thought I was a bit psycho to start with. And I've just turned to my husband and went, and you told me I wasn't allowed to bring my crochet. Right? The little girl's taking this deep breath. You crochet? And I'm like, yes, baby girl, I crochet as well. What you making? And that was it. Forget the adults. I've got a new crochet buddy. And before the film, like we went in for the film and stuff, she was telling me how she was making bumblebees. And the colourings she's playing with are amazing. It's not just a simple black and yellow. She had multicoloured bumblebees and all sorts. And so she was telling me about all the different projects. Now she's been crocheting a few, I can't remember how long it was. I think it was like 6 months or less than that. So I said to her mum, I said, hit me up on Facebook. I said, and if there's anything she wants help with, just ask me. Because her mum was saying, don't do crochet, don't do fibre arts, don't really get it, but she's doing really well. So pointed him in the direction of the YouTube channel. So hello, if you're watching, little miss. I'm not going to use your proper name because I said I wasn't going to. I'll just tell him that you're cool because you crochet in the cinema. My husband wouldn't let me. And it was a really lovely meeting them. And me and mum had a chat, and she was showing me the projects that her daughter's making. Daughter actually took over the Facebook chat. So as she's come out with something, she showed me one project, and I sort of said to her, it was arigurumi, so you're using the yarn under or the yarn over method. And Litland said yarn over. I said, well, try the yarn under. method, and make sure you're going down hook, and you know, the general things that we suggest to newer crocheters. So I'm just waiting to see if she took any of those ideas and ran with them. At some point I do plan to meet up with them, and I'm actually going to, if I can find it, I've really got to find it. Where is it? I've got a light up crochet hook. Now it gives me migraines. So I've said to her she can try it out and see if it's okay for her. If it's not, then just throw it back to me and I'll pass it out to somebody else at a later point. But I was shocked to finally come across somebody that takes a crochet everywhere with them, because I normally sit in the car, don't I? But I've got a bit more adventurous, but no way as adventurous as this little Enwills. And her projects that she's been making are really cool. She's tried all sorts, so fingers crossed at some point she'll actually try one of my crazy patterns, and then I'll be able to show you her work. And it would just be a photograph of her work, not a photograph of her with the work. I forgot to tell her that, actually. You now know if you're watching. All right, girl? If not, don't panic. I'll message you in a bit, your mum in a bit. But yeah, absolutely lovely and fun. And talking of people that have sent me in photographs, I have actually had a photo this month, last month, come in, and it is of my crazy bucket hat. This one. There we go. I don't suit hats, I really don't. But this is the crazy, like my bucket hat, I prefer to turn it into a bit of a cowgirl hat. I'm just going to pull up the picture and pop it on side and chat to you about the cheeky girl that has made it. Okay, so here's the picture. Now, it's Joss that sent this in to me. Sorry if I've said your name wrong, honey. I've spent the last half an hour trying to remember when we were chatting. Thankfully, I found our message on Instagram, so I managed to pull up the picture. Now, it looks absolutely lovely. Now, I believe Joss made 2 of these in the end. I'm not too sure if she did the striping section like I've done on the top of mine, so that it looks like a full rainbow when it's folded. The picture that I'm showing you has a bright green top, and another one that she showed me had a dark green top. But they are really cool. You just never told me. Did you put wire in them around the brim to hold this section up? Because that was my next trick, but I never got round to it. I really love the pictures. They look absolutely brilliant. And if you do sell it, darling, tell me how much for. It's all right, I don't want to cut. Just want to know what the average price is. I think your work looks absolutely brilliant. I'm really happy that you enjoyed working the pattern so much so you ended up making 2. Have you made any more, or have you moved on to another one of the crazy patterns here on here on YouTube? Now, the reason I say that is because Joss doesn't work from written patterns yet, so she's only working through my tutorials, or at least that tutorial. She'd been ironing it up for a very long time because it is now a couple of years old. And I said to her, honestly, it's easy. She didn't believe me till she did it. 2. She made 2. So there you go. Must be easy. So again, thank you ever so much, honey, for sending me in the photo. If anybody else has made a project off the channel, please send me in photos, ideally through email. It's easier for me to keep track of them then. Or if you are going to use Insta, please tag me so that I can see it. Because it's easier for me to go down the list of who's tagged me than it is to try and research for one that I saw just by a brief chance. I hope that makes sense to you, because my brain's starting to shut down now. I've been talking far too long. Now, congratulations to making it to nearly the end. Don't worry, I won't be here much longer talking your ear roll off. I don't think, anyway. Right. Because this is Wibs and Bits 190, I think it's time I run a giveaway. Now, this giveaway is going to be pattern based, because then that includes absolutely anybody that can receive an email or send an email from me to you and you to me and all that. Okay, so it is pattern based. So I'm going to be calling it the keep or the split. Okay. Those are your code words. So in the comment section down below, and make sure you pop in a generalised comment, and then at the end write either the word split or the word share. Now what I'm going to do is start off with 2 patterns. Okay, so you can choose any of the patterns over on Ravelry, or of course there are those secret winner only patterns as well, which are Marvel or Disney based. Now I can't sell those because of copyright, but I can give them away for free in giveaways. So if you choose to, I will give you a list. If the winner, chooses that option, I will give them a list and they can choose from that. Now, as I said, I'm starting with 2 patterns. So for each 10 comments I get, I'm going to add another pattern into the stash. Okay, so the first person, your name gets drawn, and I'll look for your comment and it will either say one of those 2 words. Now if it says keep, you get all the patterns. Okay, you get those 2 patterns. If you say split, then any extra patterns will be split between you and the next winner. Okay, so it will keep rolling on, so you will get a minimum of 2 patterns. Okay, as the original winner, or the next winner along, or the next winner along, you will get a minimum of 2 patterns. But we're going to keep this rolling on and on and on and on and on and on until I run out. Okay, so the more people that comment in the comment section and down below, the more patterns I will be able to give away. Now this is a birthday giveaway as well. So fingers crossed I've explained that well enough. Okay, so the winners will be drawn at the end of the month. You need to be a channel subscriber. That's the free button, so don't panic, it's not costing you anything. Just make sure that you are a channel subscriber. What else to say? You will have, once I announce, you will have 7 days to collect your prizes. Okay, and it's going to be busy. It's going to be busy for me. Fingers crossed that you all come in very quickly. There are rules, of course. The rules and rules and terms and conditions and all that malarkey is in the description box down below. Please have a read over it. Make sure you pop in a decent comment and not just the word. I know some of you are cheeky like that, but again, let's have some fun with this and let's see how many patterns I'm going to be able to give away. So if you are up for it, please share this video out, or tell your crafty mates about it as well. All right, the more people we can get in on this competition, and the more patterns I will be able to give away. I love giving away patterns and I love receiving the pictures. Right, so now I've explained all that, hopefully you get it, and I'm going to head off because, as you can tell, my brain has turned to mush. So I will see you all again really, really soon. So please remember, stay chilled, stay happy and keep crafting. Goodbye, everybody.